Hello everyone and welcome back to my Senate election prediction videos where I take a look at the Senate races going on across America in 2024 and give my thoughts, analysis, and predictions on the races. And today we are looking at the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, a seat currently held by the Democratic Party, and the current incumbent senator is Senator Elizabeth Warren. Senator Warren is currently serving in her second term. In 2018, Senator Warren's margin of victory was just over 24%. In 2020, Joe Biden's margin of victory in the Commonwealth was just under 34%. In the 2024 election, there is no doubt how Bay State voters will cast their votes. They will give Vice President Harris a significant margin of victory. Massachusetts is one of the bluest states in the nation and very rarely votes for Republican candidates. The last time it voted for a Republican candidate was 1984 when Ronald Reagan won 49 states. And in 1972, it was the only state to give its electoral votes to George McGovern. So it has a long tradition of supporting Democratic candidates and often supporting them by a significant margin. So Massachusetts will definitely be in the Harris column. It will be called at poll close. It's a very reliably blue state at the presidential level. Let's take a look at the two nominees. The Democratic nominee is the current incumbent Senator Elizabeth Warren. Senator Warren has been a vocal advocate of consumer protection during her time in the Senate. She's been a leading opponent of cryptocurrencies, and she has also been an outspoken advocate of corporate reform. Prior to serving in the Senate, Senator Warren served as the first head of the Consumer Protection Bureau under President Obama, and also Senator Warren was a law professor at Harvard Law and was a noted legal scholar. She also served for a time as a classroom teacher in the early part of her career. Senator Warren has also been an advocate of educational issues based on her background as a school teacher. In 2020, Senator Warren sought the Democratic nomination for president, and she was running in a very progressive vein. She was trying to pick up votes of more progressive voters who might have been uncomfortable with Bernie Sanders, and her support was generally more aligned at affluent voters in that very progressive lane. She was unsuccessful in her run, but she did have one really big standout moment where she effectively ended Michael Bloomberg's run in a presidential debate, where she noted all of the harassment charges that had been made against Bloomberg and all the NDAs that he had forced women at his company to sign. And she eventually did endorse then former Vice President Joe Biden. And she has been a strong advocate for the Biden agenda in the Senate, and is a reliable progressive vote for many pieces of legislation in the Senate. Her Republican opponent is a gentleman by the name of John Deaton. Mr. Deaton is a cancer survivor and is a retired U.S. Marine. Mr. Deaton has struggled with addiction and substance abuse, and has written about that extensively in a memoir that he published. He is a crypto attorney. He advocates for cryptocurrencies and just moved to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts shortly before this election to challenge Senator Warren because of her views on cryptocurrency. he kind of understands that he's up against a big challenge and a difficult race, and has challenged Senator Warren to several debates. Deaton had the backing of former Trump administration official Anthony Scaramucci in the primary. How do I think? If you take a look at the primary votes, about 72% of Bay State voters cast their votes for Democratic candidates, and about 27% cast them for Republican candidates. How do I think this race is going to turn out? There's no doubt. Senator Warren will easily be elected to a third term in the Senate. She has a huge fundraising advantage, and the political environment of Massachusetts favors Democratic candidates, and Massachusetts has a very strong record of sending Democrats to the Senate. Very rarely do they send Republicans to the Senate or even to Congress. And when they do, it's often under special circumstances, or the Republican candidate is a very progressive Republican. And this is not going to be the year. So Senator Warren will be elected to a third term, and it will be a hold for the Democratic Party.